All right, so you're here with us on the deep dive because, well, let's face it, you want to level up your financial knowledge quickly, right? I mean, who doesn't?
Time is money.
Exactly. So today we're going deep on something that could seriously change your wealth building game, using AI for investments.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking putting cutting edge tech to work for you, potentially growing those savings faster, and maybe even getting you closer to financial freedom without all the stress and the
I mean,
constant, you know,
all the work that it takes.
the work. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So we've got a ton of really interesting research and insights on this, and it's actually fascinating stuff.
It is.
What really stood out to me is that AI is not just another, robo-advisor or algorithm. It's a whole different ballgame, right?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. The stuff you've gathered, it really shows how AI is different. These systems, they learn, they adapt. It's not just following a set of rules. It's like they're thinking for themselves almost,
Yeah.
which is a little bit,
A little bit freaky.
well, yeah, a little bit freaky, but also incredibly powerful.
Totally. And this is something that used to be only available to, like, Wall Street giants.
Right, exactly. It was like this exclusive club.
But now it's becoming more accessible to everyday investors like you and me.
That's the amazing part.
Yeah, so let's rewind a little bit and talk about how we got here, because the evolution of investment tech is pretty fascinating,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
I mean, it started with good old-fashioned fundamental analysis. You'd sit there with spreadsheets and do all the research.
Yeah, gut feeling intuition.
Exactly. Then came computers to speed things up, which is a big step. And then we had robo-advisors using pre-programmed algorithms to manage portfolios.
And now AI is like the next logical step in this evolution.
There's like the ultimate upgrade.
It is.
Yeah.
And the material you've collected really dives deep into how AI can actually learn from all that historical data. It can change its strategies based on how the market's doing, and even predict future trends with some pretty remarkable accuracy.
It's mind-blowing when you think about it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. How does AI actually work its magic in the world of investing? I mean, it's not like it's got a crystal ball, right?
Well, no, not exactly. At its core, it's all about these incredibly sophisticated algorithms that are designed to just crunch massive amounts of data.
Yeah.
It does this in a few key stages. The first one is data aggregation.
Data aggregation. Okay, what's that in plain English?
So imagine this, you've got a financial analyst who can see everything all at once, every single piece of market data. That's what AI is doing with data aggregation.
So it's like having an army of analysts working around the clock.
Yes, it's constantly pulling in information from stock exchanges, economic reports, news feeds, even social media sentiment. It builds this incredibly detailed picture of what's going on in the market.
Wow, so it's like having a real-time pulse on the entire financial world.
Precisely.
Okay, that's data aggregation. What happens next?
So once the AI has gathered all this information, the next step is pattern recognition.
Pattern recognition. That sounds interesting.
It is. It's like AI is looking for those hidden connections in all the data, the things that we humans might miss. Those subtle cues that might hint at what's coming next.
So it's like AI is a financial detective.
Yes. And your sources actually give a great example of this. They talk about how a sudden surge in trading volume combined with a specific news event could be a sign of either a big opportunity or a potential risk. And AI can spot these things instantly.
It's incredible. It's like it's reading the market's mind.
Yeah, and here's a really cool part. AI is using what are called neural networks.
Neural networks. Sounds complicated.
Well, they are super complex systems that are designed to learn from data patterns, kind of like how our brains work, but on a much larger scale. They can detect patterns that humans would never be able to see.
So it's like AI has a sixth sense for the market.
Exactly.
Okay, so after pattern recognition, where do we go from there?
So the next stage is predictive analytics.
Predictive analytics. Okay, so this is where AI starts making predictions about the future.
Yeah, exactly. So AI takes all that historical data, all those patterns it's identified, and uses them to try to forecast where the market might be headed. It's like running thousands of simulations, testing out different scenarios to see what's most likely to happen.
So it's not about knowing the future for sure, but making really educated guesses based on the data?
Exactly. It's about having a statistical edge.
I like those odds. Okay, so we've got data aggregation, pattern recognition, predictive analytics. What's the final piece of the puzzle?
The final piece is continuous learning.
Continuous learning. So AI is always learning, always improving.
Always. That's what makes it so powerful. It's not a static system. It's constantly being refined as it processes more data, learning from its successes and its mistakes. This is really important because the market is always changing, right?
Right. It's like a living, breathing thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And AI needs to be able to adapt to those changes to stay effective.
Okay, so we've got this incredibly powerful AI system that's constantly learning and evolving. But how does this actually benefit the average investor, someone like you or me, who's just trying to make their money grow?
Well, the benefits are actually pretty significant.
Okay, lay them on me.
One of the biggest ones is time savings. Managing investments the traditional way can take a lot of time and energy, right?
Tell me about it.
Yeah, you've got to constantly monitor the market, research different options, make adjustments to your portfolio. It's a lot to keep up with,
It can feel like a full-time job sometimes.
right? But with AI, a lot of that is automated. You can set it up once and then let the AI handle a lot of the ongoing management.
That frees up a lot of time and mental energy.
Absolutely. And then there's the whole issue of emotional bias.
Yeah.
We humans, we're emotional creatures, and our emotions can sometimes lead us to make not so great investment decisions.
Oh, I know that all too well.
Yeah.
I've definitely bought and sold stocks based on fear or greed and regretted it later.
Right. But AI doesn't have those emotions. It makes decisions purely based on data and algorithms, so it's much more disciplined and rational, and that can make a big difference in the long run.
That's a huge advantage. It's like having a completely impartial financial advisor. Okay, so what about diversification? I know it's important to spread your investments across different assets, but it can be so overwhelming to figure out how to do it right.
AI can definitely help with that. These platforms can analyze hundreds, even thousands of different investment opportunities,
Hmm,
far more than any human could reasonably handle.
that's a lot of data.
It is. And then AI can create a portfolio that's diversified across all those different assets, balancing risk and potential reward. And importantly, it can keep adjusting that portfolio over time as the market changes.
So it's like having a personal diversification expert constantly working behind the scenes.
Exactly.
And you know, something else that stood out to me in the research is the idea of personalized strategies. How can AI create a unique strategy for each individual investor?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting. So when you set up an AI-powered investment platform, it typically asks you about your financial goals, your risk tolerance, your time horizon, all those personal details. And then it uses that information to create a strategy that's specifically tailored to you.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Not at all. If you're aiming for aggressive growth, the AI will recommend different investments than if you're more focused on generating income or preserving capital. It's all about finding the right fit for you.
That level of customization is pretty impressive. Okay, last but not least, our research talks about the importance of real-time decision-making, especially in today's fast-moving market.
Yeah, that's a big one. In certain sectors like tech or crypto, prices can change incredibly quickly.
It's like a Wild West out there.
It can be. And human investors, it's hard for us to keep up with all those rapid-fire changes, but AI can. It can execute trades almost instantaneously in response to market movements. And that can make a huge difference in those volatile markets.
So AI can react much faster than we can.
Exactly. It's like having a super fast trading assistant that's always on top of things.
Okay, so AI sounds amazing in theory, but what about in practice? Are people actually seeing results?
Well, that's the most important question.
Right.
And the good news is that the research suggests that, yes, people are seeing some really positive results with AI-powered investing. There are a lot of people using robo-advisors, for example, which are heavily reliant on AI, and they're reporting consistent portfolio growth without having to lift a finger.
That's encouraging.
It is. And there are also case studies showing that AI-driven strategies have actually outperformed traditional investment methods, especially during market downturns, because AI isn't swayed by fear or panic.
It just sticks to the plan.
Exactly. And your sources even mentioned that some investors have seen their annual returns increase by 15 to 20% compared to when they were managing their investments manually.
Wow, those are some pretty impressive numbers.
They are.
Okay, so let's say someone's listening to this and they're thinking, I'm sold. I want to give AI a try. What are the first steps they should take?
Well, the first thing is to do your research and choose the right platform.
There are a lot of options out there.
There are. You've got everything from those robo-advisors we talked about, like Wealthfront and Betterment, which are good for beginners, to more advanced algorithmic trading platforms if you're a bit more experienced and want more control. It's important to compare features, fees, historical performance, all of that good stuff to find the one that's right for you.
It's like choosing the right financial partner.
It is. And once you've found a platform that you're comfortable with, the next step is to set clear financial goals.
So what am I actually trying to achieve with my investments?
Exactly. Are you saving for retirement, a down payment on a house,
Hmm.
something else? Having specific goals in mind will help the AI create a strategy that's designed to get you there.
Makes sense. It's like giving the AI a roadmap.
Right. And just as important as your goals is your risk tolerance. You need to figure out how comfortable you are with the possibility of losing money. Are you okay with high volatility, or do you prefer a more conservative approach?
So you're saying don't just blindly trust the AI, make sure it understands your personal risk level.
Absolutely. And even though AI can automate a lot of the investment process,
Hmm.
it's still important to monitor things periodically. Check in on how your portfolio is performing, understand what the AI is doing, and be prepared to make adjustments if your circumstances change.
So it's more like having a really smart co-pilot rather than just setting it and forgetting it.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, and finally, the research emphasizes the importance of continuous learning. Why is that still necessary in the age of AI?
Well, because AI is still a relatively new field, and it's constantly evolving. There are new developments happening all the time, new research, new insights. By staying up to date, you'll be better equipped to understand the capabilities and the limitations of AI and to make informed decisions about your investments.
So never stop learning.
Exactly. Knowledge is power.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, and it's clear that AI has the potential to be a real game changer for investors. But like with any new technology, there are also potential pitfalls and things to be cautious about, right?
Absolutely. No technology is perfect, and it's important to go into this with a balanced perspective.
So what are some of the things we should be watching out for?
Well, one thing to be aware of is the potential for over-reliance on technology. AI is incredibly powerful, but it's not infallible. The market can be unpredictable sometimes, and there may be situations where human judgment is still necessary. So it's important to stay engaged with your investments. Don't just blindly trust the AI to handle everything.
So it's a tool, not a replacement for our own thinking.
Exactly. Another crucial consideration is data quality and security. AI is only as good as the data it's fed. If the data is flawed or outdated, the AI's decisions could be off. And of course, you're entrusting these platforms with sensitive financial information, so make sure they have strong security measures in place to protect your data.
That's a big one in today's world. What about fees?
Right, fees are definitely something to be aware of. A lot of AI-driven investment platforms charge fees either as a percentage of your assets or as a subscription fee. Make sure you understand those fees upfront and factor them into your overall strategy because they can eat into your returns if you're not careful.
So be fee conscious. Got it. And finally, can AI completely protect you from market volatility?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the answer is no. AI is designed to help you navigate volatility, but it can't eliminate it entirely. There will always be unforeseen events that can shake up the market, and even the most sophisticated AI models might not always predict those perfectly. So diversification is still key.
So don't put all your eggs in one basket, even if AI is managing that basket.
Precisely. Spread that risk around.
Okay, so looking ahead, what are some of the future trends we can expect to see in AI-powered investing?
Well, one exciting trend is greater personalization. As AI models become even more sophisticated, they'll be able to analyze more data about your behavior, your preferences, and use that to create even more tailored investment strategies.
So it's like having a bespoke investment plan designed just for you.
Exactly. And we're also likely to see more integration with other technologies like blockchain, which could make transactions faster and more secure, and even quantum computing, which has the potential to create super powerful trading algorithms.
Wow, that's mind-blowing.
It is. And as AI becomes more widespread, we can also expect to see increased accessibility. Fees will likely come down, educational resources will improve, and interfaces will become more user-friendly, making this technology available to a wider range of people.
Is it becoming more democratic?
Exactly. And finally, we can expect to see enhanced risk management features in future AI models. By monitoring more global indicators and analyzing more data in real time, they'll be even better at helping investors navigate those market downturns and avoid big losses.
It sounds like AI is going to play an even bigger role in our financial lives in the years to come.
Absolutely. It's a transformative technology.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the key takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with?
I think the main message here is that AI in investing is not just a fad, it's a fundamental shift. It offers the potential for more efficient, more effective, and ultimately more intelligent portfolio management.
And it's not just about making things easier, right? It's about removing those emotional biases and making more disciplined decisions, which can have a huge impact on your long-term financial success.
Precisely. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, AI has the potential to help you achieve your financial goals and work towards that financial freedom we all dream of.
Well, this has been an incredibly insightful deep dive. It's amazing to see what AI is already doing in the world of finance, and it's even more exciting to think about what the future holds.
I agree.
And on that note, here's a final provocative thought for our listeners to ponder. As AI-powered investment tools become more sophisticated and personalized, how might that change the role of human financial advisors?
That's a great question.
Something to think about. Until next time, thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
Thanks for having me.